That's what I called them. I only know your mom. I don't know your dad either. Oh, okay. Ryan or Brian? Oh, Brian. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people didn't think you could pull it off.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Urban East Conference basketball game featuring the visiting Bears from White Bear Lake High School and your Forest Lake Rangers. We appreciate your attendance at tonight's game. We hope you enjoy the competition between both teams. Tonight's basketball game is being played according to the policies set forth by the Suburban East Conference and the Minnesota State High School League. These policies provide for fair competition among the players. Everyone is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship. We thank you for your cooperation.
Check, check, 1, 2, check, check.
In America, it is tradition to stand, remove your hats, and face the American flag during the playing of our national anthem. Tonight, we're pleased to have the high school pep band here to play the national anthem under the direction of Mr. Barry Zumwald. Welcome, Ranger basketball fans, to youth.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting Forest Lake girls basketball game. I am Vincent Dimitrov, going to be your announcer here tonight, and we're just here at the Forest Lake High School on a Friday night. Let's play some basketball here. As they're announcing the starting lineup, it'll be a rivalry game to say the least, as an SEC matchup play, as White Bear Lake Bears come into the matchup 8-9 with 4-4 in section play, while Forest Lake Rangers are riding high on 14-4 while being 6-3 in section play. So Rangers having the upper hand in both categories of wins and SEC play.
Our tribute to each individual, some who are here tonight and some we remember with great fondness and admiration. We pause tonight to remember Connie Earlbeck, Paul Kornberger, Christy Brink,
as tonight is also Pink Night, so you'll see some Ranger fans dressed down pink as the girls basketball team. And there's also Youth Night, so you'll be seeing some kids running around.
Celebrated and admired in the arrangement of flowers are survivors Deanna Kersey, Bob Rupar, and our Ranger girls basketball coach Jen Wagner. We know that there are many survivors and fighters in our midst this evening. Tonight, we win or lose, the determination and fight displayed on the court is in your honor. At halftime, a fast break Booster Club will be collecting donations for Be the Match. Over the past 25 years, Be the Match, operated by the National Marrow Donor Program, has managed the largest and most diverse marrow registry in the world, working every day to save lives through transplant. Please consider giving generously in the name of those affected in our basketball family. Finally, before we get to starting lineups, we want to give a shout out to our youth in attendance tonight. Future Rangers, don't forget to stay after the game for player autographs down by the home bench, followed by a root beer social in the foyer. All right. Now for tonight's starting lineups in alternate fashion. First for the Bears, number 4.
Let's start with the starting lineup for the White Bear Lake Bears and the Forest Lake Rangers.
For the Rangers, number 11, 5'7" senior guard Lexi Holtman. For the Bears, number 5, 5'9" senior guard Courtney Crouch. For the Rangers, number 25, 5'9" senior guard Maddie Rice. For the Bears, number 11, a 6-foot senior center, Victoria Adebisi. For the Rangers, number 30, 5'10" senior forward, Abigail Greenaway. For the Bears, number 21, 5'7" junior, Ella Janicki. For the Rangers, number 32, 5'11" senior guard, Kenzie Stumney. And for the Bears, number 40, 5'7" senior guard, Anna Sanders. And for the Rangers, number 40, 6-foot senior forward, Abby Leach. Head coaches tonight for the Bears, Jeremy Post, and for the Rangers, Jen Wagner.
As we're starting for the opening faceoff, it's Abigail Greenaway, number 30. And number 11, Victoria. This ball quickly goes back around. That'll be getting off, starting with number 40 off the top of the key. That's good for 3. Number 40, Anna Sanders. As now number 11, Lexi Holtman will start off with it. Lexi Holtman trying to find an open lady. As Kenzie Stumney will try to drive to the hoop. Won't get it. As that'll be Bears ball. That's high for number 40, Leach. Holtman passes that one off to number 32, Kenzie Stumney. Stumney back to Greenaway. Greenaway driving, gives it back to Stumney, who works her way to the key. Off the baseline is Leach. Leach back to Greenaway from the baseline. From the baseline, Holtman couldn't make it. That's taken by the 6'11" Victoria Adebeki. There'll be a foul call.
Foul's on number 40. Abby Leach, her first team first. 2 free throws for Ella Janicki.
Starting with the 2-3. Well, the first free throw is good for the second attempt. And that one's good. As Holtman will start off with it. Holtman gives that one off to Greenaway. Greenaway to Rice. Rice back to Greenaway. Greenaway for 2. Greenaway's good for 2. Right inside the baseline. That's going to be passed off to number 40. Anna Sanders. Looks like that'll be call on Greenaway.
Last ball at 30, Abigail Greenaway, her first team second.
one starts off. Working away from the key. It's number 21. 5, Courtney Crouch. There is to number 40. Back to number 4. Number 4, Kayla Anderson. As that won't be taken out by Kenzie Stumney. To Rice. Rice for 3. Rice won't get 3. Off the rebound. Victoria Adebeki. So Owens just hurl off to number 5 off the baseline, and that one won't be good. Courtney Crouch had a shot at it. It's Holtman. Holtman to Grenoweg. Grenoweg working away towards the key, and that's on the key, Holtman. Holtman driving. Couldn't get 2. But Lexi Holtman will have a shot here.
Falls number 5, Courtney Crouch. Go first, team first. 2 free throws for Lexi Holtman.
That one was made. You don't have 2 number 40. Number 40, Anna Sanders. And that's going to be back to Sanders. Sanders for 3. Sanders is going to be good for 3.
3-point basket for Anna Sanders.
Starting off hot here. This is Holtman. And that's to Leach. Leach back to Rice. Rice to Grenoweg. Grenoweg driving. Gives it up to Leach. Leach for 3. Leach no good for 3. As Stoney takes it. That'll be stolen off by Anna Sanders. But that looks to be Rangers ball.
Foul's called on 40, Anna Sanders.
As that one's off. Leach for 2, had a shot at it. That'll again be Victoria Adebeki. As that's off to Sanders. Sanders gives it to Crouch. Crouch working her way towards the key. Gives it back to Adebeki. Back to Crouch. Pump fake by Sanders. And that one's Adebeki trying to get something going. As that's passed off for 3, and that's good for 3.
3-point basket for Bella Jedicke.
As that one will start off with Holtman again. Holtman passes off to Grenoweg. Grenoweg trying to make a drive for something. That'll be foul.
Foul's called on 5, Courtney Crouch.
As Grenoweg will have a chance here. As Grenoweg makes the first shot. Substitution being made. Number 24, number 13 checks in for the Bears. 24, Brianna Corey. And 13, Yana Hughes. And Grenoweg makes the second one.
Lindsey Johnson.
As 24, Brianna Corey checks in. Throws that one all the way to Kayla Anderson. And they'll put up 2 more points. As that again starts off with Holtman. Holtman gets it off to Stumney. Stumney tries to make a quick 2 points, but that won't work. As it starts off with Anderson. Anderson passes off to Janicki. Gives it to Sanders. Sanders working her way towards the key to the inside. Driving. No good for 2. As it bounces around a couple of people. As it again starts off. Fultman. Fultman will give it to Johnson. Lindsey Johnson checks into the game, number 20. Matty Rice gives it to Gokin. Grenaway, excuse me. Grenaway gets 3. As that one's taken away. Matty Rice puts up 2 more. As the steal was made, Matty Rice puts up 2 more. And just like that, Rangers are back in striking distance, 10-13, 12:50 remaining in the first period. As one passed off, and Lindsey Johnson will steal that one and put up 2 more points. Lindsey Johnson's everywhere on defense. As she tries to break that one up, but that one will just roll out of bounds. As 24-21, Ella Janicki tried to make something out of it, but just gets taken away by Johnson. Starting off back to Janicki. Janicki driving away towards the lane. Was trying to set up to number 24, Brianna Corey. There'll be a foul on the Rangers.
Foul's called on 30, Abigail Grenaway. Her second person, team third.
That's given to number 13. Number 13, Nia Hughes. Nia Hughes passed it off to Janicki. That's going to be back in Sanders. Sanders making a drive. Working way off the arc for 3. No good. As Holtman will start back off with it. As Janicki tried to try for 3.
24, Brianna Corey.
Substitution being made both by the Bears and the Rangers.
Bears, Lauren Eckerly.
Holtman passes that one.
Julia
Johnson to Holtman. Holtman will have this one again. Kruger checks into the game for the Rangers, number 24. As that one just rolls out, that's going to be given to number 40, Sanders. Eckerly, number 45, for the Bears checks in. As attempted 3 by number 22. By number 22 for the Bears, Juliet. That one's being stolen a couple times there. A couple missed attempts by both the Rangers and the Bears.
It's called out 25, Matty Rice, first team 4.
As it starts back off with Sanders. Sanders gives that one off to Eckerly. Eckerly to Julick. It's back to Sanders. As Sanders makes a drive towards the hoop with the back step. Couldn't get it. As Kruger Just passes that one off to Rice. Rice makes her way past half court. Lindsey Johnson. Johnson wanted 2 with the fake. Tried to make a drive. That'll be a foul call. And Johnson couldn't get the shot off there. As Leach checks into the game for the Rangers. As Holtman checks out of the game for the Rangers. Johnson with her second attempt. And Johnson will make the second attempt, making that a tie game, 13-13. Number 5, Courtney Crouch. Pass that one out of BC. As that could have made her way back to out of BC. But that'll just be in the waiting arms of number 45, Laura Eckerly, and she'll just put up 2 more. As Rice trying to direct some people around. Rice passed that one off to Kruger. Kruger makes a drive. Tried to pass that one off. Taken away by Laura Eckerly. For 3, no good. 21, Ella Janicki. Janicki for the second attempt. They'll be taken down by Kruger. Rice will finally get the ball back. As Rice passes that one off to Stumney. Stumney to Johnson. For 3, and that'll be good for 3. Abby Leach with the 3-pointer. Put them up 16-15. A little under 9 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. That one's being passed around the carousel. That one will be taken away by Johnson, but Johnson runs out of bounds. 4 out of the 5 starters are coming out of the game for the Bears, making some substitutions to get some fresh legs in. And Sanders to Janicki. Janicki working away from the key to number 4, Anderson. Back to Janicki. Gives that to Nia Hughes. And as Sanders try to put up 2, won't go. So that'll be Ranger ball. As Johnson tried to pass that one off from the baseline. Wouldn't get it. And that's back to Bears ball. That one will be taken away by 34 for the Rangers as she hits, and she'll still make it. 34, Logan Anderson. Logan Anderson will put up 2. Now she'll have a chance to put up more points off the free throw line. Just keeping in play. Anderson, she won't get it. As she checked into the game, I'll just give it off to number 40, Laura Eckerly. And that's a jump for the ball. It'll be Leach. That's back around to number 40, Sanders. Won't be able to get it. That's taken away. Running with it, Johnson. Now put up 2 more. Holtman will just put up 2 more points, just making a drive to the hoop. Timeout called. Starting off with the is Sanders. Sanders tries to pass that one off and gives it back to number 24. Number 24, Brianna Corey. And as a drive to lane attempt won't work, as Janicki had a chance at it. Now back to Sanders. Sanders to Janicki. Janicki for three. No good for three. That one will just be batted out. But that'll go Rangers ball. Upbeat tempo going on here as the Rangers and Bears just trying to rack up the points. Holtman. Stumney. Stumney making her way in with the spin, and that won't go in as that just rolls out. Passed off to number 5. Number 5, Courtney Crouch. Courtney Crouch working her way towards the key. Breaks for a drive. But a foul call made. And that'll be on the Rangers. As it looks like a substitution, Grenaway and Rice will check into the game. As Stumney and Johnson will check out of the game. Kayla Anderson passed that one off to Janicki. And that one will be scooped up by Adabiki. And that'll be good. 2, as that's given off to Crew. Around the back is Rice. Rice passes off one off Grenaway. Grenaway for 2, no good for 2. And they'll start back with Sanders. Sanders trying to direct traffic. Sanders just passes that one off to Courtney Crouch. And with a drive, and that one will just go out as trying to be a saving attempt by Adabisi. As the defense seems more zoned, just trying to guard everyone. Defense doesn't seem to press. As Holtman just drove her way in, tried to work her way back out. Gives it to Abigail Grenaway. And she'll put up 2 more points as a beautiful drive to the lane. Just puts up 2 more. Starts off with back to number 5, Courtney Crouch. Courtney Crouch passes that one off. Julia Julik. As that one is going back to Sanders. That one will just fly out. And that'll be Rangers ball.
Lauren Eckerly. 13, Nevaeh Hughes.
As substitutions made, starting off with it, Lexi Holtman. Lexi Holtman passes that one off to Anderson. Anderson to Grenaway. Grenaway making a sharp drive. Tried to pass that one off to Holtman. Holtman couldn't rack up 2. That's stolen by Anderson. Anderson couldn't get anything out of it. It'll be Rangers ball nonetheless. As Anderson finds Grenawake for 2. Just settles in the sweet spot and puts up 2 more for the Forest Lake Rangers. Crouch. Try to pass that one off. Goes off the hands of Sanders. That's just given off to Rice. Given back to Rice. Rice for 3. Rice won't get 3 as that lands right into Sanders' hands. And Sanders will move her way all the way back around behind everyone. Behind everyone, Laura Eckerly for 2.
Basket for Laura Eckerly.
That's given to Leach. Leach trying to make a drive. There'll be foul called.
Foul's called on 13, Nevaeh Hughes.
Substitution. Rice and Holtman will come out of the game. Looks like getting a talking to by the coach. That's Leach. Leach will make the shot off the free throw line.
Free throw line for Abby Leach.
And she'll make the second one, putting them up 26-19. As that's given off. Janicki. Janicki being pressed by Anderson. All the way back around. That's deflected and taken away. Looks like that was trying to go to Julik. It's Anderson with the pump fake. Passes that one off to Rice. Rice trying to direct traffic. Gives it to Holtman. Holtman with the trying to go all the way around the hoop. But that one won't work. Laura Eckerly to Janicki. Janicki trying to make a drive, run straight into Leach.
Foul's called on 40, Abby Leach.
They'll be called on Abby Leach.
Team 6.
She gets run down. Ella Janicki off the free throw line. She'll make the first shot.
Free throws for Ella Janicki.
As big substitution being made by both Forest Lake and White Bear.
Back in for the Rangers.
And she'll make the second attempt. That'll again start off with Holtman. Holtman trying to work away from outside the key. Passes that one off to Stumney. Stumney to Rice. Rice from the key. Passes that one off to Holtman. Holtman making a drive. Gives that one off to Stumney. Stumney with the fancy footwork. But that'll be a travel call. Fancy footwork seemed to go against her. That'll be Bears ball. As that one goes around all the way, number 4. Had a chance at it. Sanders for 3, no good. That's stolen away by Stumney. Stumney passes that one off to Rice. Rice back to Stumney. Stumney being worked on by number 4, Kayla Anderson. It's Holtman. Holtman trying to work her way towards the key. That's Anderson for 3. No good for 3. As that'll be jumped on by number 22, Julia Julik.
Bears substitute Courtney Crouch back in.
Starts off back with Sanders. Sanders with a laser to Grimson. And that'll be for three. Good. Janicki. It's passed off to Stoney. Stoney being worked on by Anderson to Rice. Rice for two. Rice just make her way. Shot it from just about the free throw line. She'll put up two more. As that starts with Sanders. And that'll be a travel call as she was shooting it off. Sanders with the mental error. Rangers ball. That'll be from Holtman. And that'll be Anderson for two. But no good for two. Off the rebound. Grabbing it from the head was number 4, Kayla Anderson. Julik for three. No good. Off the rebound. But that'll be travel call. Another travel. Kayla Anderson. Bears team being caught with plenty of those so far tonight.
Victoria out of BC.
As number 11 checks back into the game. Victoria out of BC. We'll start off with Holtman. Holtman makes her way past Anderson. Just gives that one off to Stumney. Stumney back to Holtman. Holtman to Anderson. Anderson gives it to Stumney. Stumney works her way back in. Passes that one off to Anderson. Anderson won't make it first time. Second attempt, no good. So that one will be blocked and going the other way. As that is Victoria out of BC with the great defense and pressure. Just taking away all opportunities for the Rangers as under a minute remaining is counting down here. 28-24. Close rivalry matchup that I'm sure both teams really want to win. That one's passed off. Back to Sanders. Sanders to Janicki. They'll be passed off from the inside. And that'll be good. As she was just waiting there. Out of BC was waiting for that one. That's given off to Johnson. Johnson having a chance at it. Now trying to direct traffic is Rice. Maddie Rice trying to direct some people around. Miscommunication. Johnson. Johnson back to Stumney. And Stumney tries to make it, and she'll drive for two. After all the chaotic going into it, Stumney will finally put up two as miscommunications by the Rangers. Pretty close matchup here as White Bears going to try to keep this one close. 30-26 will be your score at halftime. Stay tuned for the second half for more.
Two of the shyest
We're getting back to the second half. Very exciting first half. Just a 4-point marginal difference as that last second 2 points by Kenzie Stumney is making all the difference in tonight's matchup. Starts off with Rice. Rice just gives that one off to Holtman. Holtman passes that one off to Grenoweg. Grenoweg to Holtman. Holtman from the key gives that one off to Stumney. And gives that one off to Holtman. Holtman couldn't make two. Gives that one back to Grenoweg. Grenoweg to Holtman. Holtman with the fake to Rice. Holtman back to Grenoweg. Grenoweg makes a drive towards the lane with the spin. She shoots it and she'll put up two.
Grenoweg for two.
With the spin, makes two. As now Rangers showing a little bit more press defense. As Janicki is able to scoop that one up from going out of bounds. Passes that one off to Courtney Crouch. Courtney Crouch gives that one off to Sanders. Sanders trying to direct people around. Gives that one back to Janicki. Has that one a chance as that one's blocked, but they'll call her on it. They'll call Abby Leach for the shot. And they'll get Adebisi some free throws. So Adebisi won't be able to make the first shot, as Rangers are showing more of an aggressive approach starting out in the second half here. She will make the second one, 27-32. That one's passed off to Grenoweg. Grenoweg starts to make a drive towards the lane. On Adebisi. Adebisi with the step through. And putting up two more is Grenoweg. Working on Adebisi. And Grenoweg will get a free throw here. Grenoweg will be able to toilet bowl that one in. So that one will start off with Janicki. Janicki to Sanders. Sanders given. Sanders to Crouch. Crouch back to Janicki. Janicki to Adebisi. Adebisi was working on. Adebisi gets it back off the rebound, and Adebisi will put up 2 points. Adebisi just not giving up on the play. And we'll put up 2 as the ref blows the whistle. Looks like jump ball play. That starts off with Maddie Rice. Maddie Rice gives that one off to Holtman. Holtman to Leach. And no one was home as Kenzie Stumney just passed that one off. Miscommunication there by the Rangers. As it starts off with Sanders. Sanders gives it around to Janicki. Janicki from the top of the key. Gives it back to Sanders. Sanders to Janicki. Janicki for three. Off the rebound. No good. And that'll be given off to Rice. Rice to Holtman. Holtman back to Rice. Rice from the top of the key. Grenoweg working her way in. As that'll be, and they'll give it a no call. And that'll be Rangers ball. Seems like went off the hand of Adebisi. And Leach starts off with it. Leach gives it to Stumney. Stumney back to Holtman. And Stumney will put up 2 more points. Starts off to Crouch. Crouch gives it to Sanders. And Sanders just trying to direct traffic. Adebisi, Janicki. And that's back to Adebisi. To Sanders. Back to Anderson. Anderson to Crouch. Crouch back to Janicki. Janicki to Sanders. Sanders back, and it's working all the way around. It's Anderson. But they'll get a call there. Call in the favor of the White Bear. As Anderson will get fouled on. And she'll be on the free throw line.
Two free throws for Caleb Anderson. For the Rangers, Lindsey Johnson.
Just checking into the game. Johnson. As Anderson put up a couple more. And that starts off with Rice. Rice to Johnson. Johnson makes a cut inside. Gives it to Greneweg. And Greneweg will be called for travel. As now Rangers showing a lot of more back to zone. Just not even attempting to play full court defense. So we'll start off with Sanders to Janicki, and Janicki will just drive for two. 31-37. This game's far from over. As just around 14 minutes is left in the game. As Holtman to Stumney. Stumney will put it up for three. As Stumney makes three, that starts off with Sanders. Sanders to Crouch. That will be no good off the rebound. Give him back to Stumney. Stumney will put in two more. Stumney puts in a couple more as a timeout called by White Bear. Stumney puts on 5 points off the rebound from that missed three-pointer. As timeout was made by White Bear. Out of the timeout.
Foul called on 20, Lindsey Johnson.
Out of the
Her first, team third.
out of the timeout call. Starts off back with Sanders. Sanders trying to make a drive on the outside to the baseline. Adebisi. That's given up. And that one will get stuck. That one will get stuck. Never seen that before. Trying to go for the layup. That one's just stuck in the hoop. As it seems like a White Bear player will call and put that one down. as she was trying to make a drive towards the hoop. That's something you don't see every day. This checks off from number 5, Couch. And that will be good for 3 as Sanders, after Crouch gets it stuck in between the hoop, Sanders will put up 3 as Grenoweg was trying to make a drive off the baseline, but that one will get slapped out of bounds by Sanders. And that'll be Rangers ball. Holtman's working on it. Holtman with a great save. She passes that one off. Hits the defender right in the leg, but that'll still be Rangers ball. Gives it to Holtman. Holtman to Grenoweg. Grenoweg with the drive, but off the rebound is Holtman. Holtman had a shot at it and finally goes all the way back to Stumney. Gives it to Grenoweg. Johnson with the drive. Johnson with the layup, no good. That'll be a foul call on the Bears.
Foul call. Fouls on 40 in Sanders. Her second, team second.
Is Johnson on the free throw line. And she'll go up. And she'll put up the first basket here off the free throw line for a second attempt. And she'll be good for a second attempt. As Corey, that's hard press defense there, as Grenoweg will steal that one. Given off to Holtman, as Stumney almost lost track of it, and Stumney will put up 2 more points. Kenzie Stumney having a night, as that went off of a couple Bears players. And Sanders for 3. Sanders no good for 3 off the rebound. That's to Grenoweg. Grenoweg passes that one off to Rice. Rice to Johnson. Johnson to Holtman, and Holtman will put up 2 as these Rangers are now on fire. And that'll be a timeout called by the Bears for White Bear Lake. The Rangers are now picking up some steam. 48-34. 12 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the second period. As off of the timeout. That one will start off. Gives it right to Janicki. And trying to go for a quick rebound. That'll be fouled by Rice. Rice coming in a little hot. As she'll get fouled on.
Rice, number 25. Second.
On the free throw line. Number 4. Kayla Anderson. Anderson with the first shot. And that one will go off the rim, off the backboard, and good for a second attempt from the line. And that one will be good as well. 2 more points for White Bear.
Logan Anderson's into the Rangers.
As that one starts off with a driving Kenzie Stumney. Stumney to Rice from the rebound. Rice to Johnson. Johnson to Grenoweg. As Grenoweg was trying to put up 2. Working on Adebisi.
Foul's called on 11. Victoria Adebisi. Third.
And Grenoweg will be on the line. And Grenoweg will make her first.
Into the Bears, Anna Sanders.
There's Grenoweg. We'll put up the second, putting up 2 more points for the Rangers as Forest Lake showing more press. Playing full court press by this Rangers team, as that one will go off the hands of Brianna Corey, as that pass was a little off. Now we'll roll out of bounds, and that'll be Rangers ball. They'll be starting off with Lindsey Johnson. Lindsey Johnson. Johnson to Maddie Rice, and Maddie Rice to Grenoweg, and Grenoweg with the drive and puts up 2 more. As Sanders gives that one off to Anderson. That one's just making its way around, giving that one off to Crouch. Crouch passes that one off to Adebisi. They'll be back up for Corey. And Corey won't be able to get 3. But that'll be White Bear ball nonetheless. Janicki start off with it, gives it to Sanders. Sanders working from the key. Side pass out. They'll be up and good with the layup for 2. Hughes under everyone. Puts up 2 more as that starts off with Grenoweg. Grenoweg trying to make a drive. Will not be contested. Grenoweg for 2 more points for the Rangers. As that one will go missed dribble by Janicki. That'll be Rangers ball.
Lexi Holtman back in for the Rangers.
As Holtman will check back in for the Rangers. That'll be Maddie Rice out for the Rangers. As Holtman will start off with it. Holtman starts off, gives it to Grenoweg. Grenoweg making her drive inside. Grenoweg for 2, and Grenoweg will get 2 with the pivot and the step for 2 more. Grenoweg has been laser focused here in the second half. And with the drive, that won't be good. As Courtney Crouch try to put up 2.
Fouls on 34, Logan Anderson.
But she'll be on the line.
Second. Team 5. 2 free throws for Courtney Crouch.
She'll convert on her first attempt with the second shot on the way. And that one will be good. As Lindsey Johnson passes that one off to Stumney. Stumney back to Johnson. Johnson to Grenoweg. And Grenoweg for 2. Grenoweg tries to get off her own rebound, but ends up keeping it in bounds. As that's to Janicki. To Sanders. Sanders for 3. No good for 3 as that goes off of Stumney's hands. Now be back to Janicki. Janicki for 2. No good for 2 as that's off the rebound. Given to Holtman. Holtman with the cut to the inside. Holtman passes that one off to Grenoweg. And Grenoweg will put up 2 more. Grenoweg, the 2-point machine right now. As that was off the rebound. That was Holtman.
The Rangers, Lexi Golkin. For the Bears, Kayla
As Lexi Golkin will check into the game. Stumney checks out. Now it will be good. Trying to direct people around. That goes into Crouch. Crouch trying to make a drive towards hoop. And that'll be tipped, no good. That'll be off the rebound. Giving to Sanders. Crouch for another attempt. And that one won't be good. As Anderson working away from the baseline. And she'll be fouled on. Trying to work her way from the baseline.
Foul called on 30. Abigail Renaway, her third personal. Team 6. Maddie Krieger in for Rangers.
As Kruger checks into the game for the Forest Lake Rangers as Grenoweg checks out. So that's Sanders. Sanders passes that one around to Crouch. Crouch back to Sanders. Sanders trying to work her way back in. Sanders passes that one off. Sanders passes that to Crouch. Won't make it. And there'll be a couple. And there'll be a couple free throw attempts for White Bear. As that one will bounce out for White Bear. Tries throws it up, and that'll be no good. Zach gives the one off to Holtman. Back to Gokin. Gokin to Holtman. Holtman trying to work her way back in. Holtman gives that one to Gokin. Gokin put too much heat on it, as that one will be rolling back. Gives it to Anderson. Anderson with the flick off a couple people. And Gokin had a chance at it, but that'll be White Bear. As White Bear gets the ball back, goes to Courtney Crouch. Courtney Crouch to Eckler. Eckler gives it to Nikki, and that will be stolen by Holtman. Holtman gives it to Johnson. Now Johnson trying to direct some traffic. Johnson making a drive. Passes that one off to Kruger, but will be no good. That one's off. Tries to keep that in. Nia Hughes with the cut. That's Holtman. Holtman fouled on her. She tried to attempt that too, but she'll be on the free throw line.
Calls on 45, Lauren Eckerly. Her first, team 5. 2 free throws. Lexi Holtman. The Bears and Sanders.
That one's good by Holtman. Starts off with Sanders. Sanders and Janicki. That'll be Sanders out with it. Sanders working on Johnson. As that one will be taken away by Kruger. Kruger to Johnson. And Johnson will put up 2.
Off the basket by Lindsey Johnson. Fouls on 40, Anna Sanders.
Johnson was ready for that all the way as she lays it up for 2 and fouled on. It's Johnson. She won't be able to make the first attempt. And passed off. Looks like that's Courtney Crouch. Courtney Crouch gives that one to Nia Hughes. Hughes to Sanders. Sanders to Adebisi. Back to Sanders. Sanders working on outside the arc. That's given. That's using Adebisi. Adebisi off of her own rebound. Won't be able to get it. Fouled on, and she'll be on the line.
Fouls on 34, Logan Anderson, her third person. Team 8.
Forest Lake
Free throws upcoming
and White Bear
for Victoria.
seem both to be ready for some free throw attempts. As Adebisi will be short. But now the substitution being made for Forest Lake and for White Bear Lake. It's Adebisi for a second attempt. And that one will be good.
And for the Bears, 24, Brianna Corey is in.
So that one starts off with Stumney. Stumney to Rice. Rice to Holtman. Holtman from behind the back. Holtman making a strong drive. As Holtman playing some strong offense there. But as refs blow the whistle here. So that one starts off with Holtman. Holtman to Rice, back to Holtman. Back to Rice. Rice to Gokin. Gokin back to Rice. And that'll be right up to Stumney. And Stumney will put up two more. Substitution being ready to be made by the Rangers. As off the rebound, that's going off a couple people. Now fall into the arms of Anderson. Anderson to Couch. That looks like Anderson. Anderson for three, no good. Back to Couch. As Crouch took a couple of those rebounds away. That's given to Gokin. As Gokin passed that one off to Rice. Gives it to Stumney. Stumney working on outside in. That's given back to Rice. Rice won't be able to do anything there. As Anderson gives that one to Janicki. That one will be no good. Off the rebound. And that'll be Ranger ball.
Foul's called on 24, Brianna Corey.
Substitution being made by both the Forest Lake Rangers and White Bear Lake Bears.
40, Abby Leach.
Grenoweg and Leach check back into the game for the Rangers.
Lexi Holtman, the line.
That one will be no good as it's taken away, given back by Leach. It's Rice. Rice won't be able to do anything. That's given off. Given off and taken away. As that one's off the feet. Miscommunication there. As Anderson and Eckerly were trying to get some points on the board as they're down 64-41. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the second period. As Holtman passes that one off, that's to Grenoweg. As Grenoweg stepped out of bounds, trying to work outside the baseline. Mistake there by Grenoweg. Gives the ball back to the Bears. Corey. Corey and Sanders were back. Gives that one off to Sanicki. That one was off to Janicki. And that one's blocked. Julik's shot was blocked off by a couple of Rangers. That's Stumney for three. Stumney won't be good for three. And I'll be back into the arms of Sanders. Sanders gives that one off to Anderson. Anderson working way back in. And that's for three. No good for three. Corey's trying to work on Stumney. Finally starts back off with the drive and the shot puts off. That's Corey. That'll be a foul. Opportunities being missed by this White Bear team if they want to have any shot left in it. Just about 3 minutes remaining in the second period. As Holtman will start off with. Holtman passes that one off to Rice. Rice gives that to Leach. Leach for two, and that's good. Leach puts up two more. And that's given back to Sanders. As they are all working their way back around. It's given up for two, and that'll be good.
Three-point basket.
Brianna Corey.
Brianna Corey.
Three, excuse me. That'll be good for three.
Back into the Bears, Amanda Hughes. Victoria Adebisi.
Starting off here is Holtman.
Lauren Eckerly.
That's Holtman to Rice. Back to Johnson. Leach just throws that one up to Rice. And Rice won't be able to get two off the rebound. Off the rebound was Anderson. But she gets fouled on. She'll be on the line.
Also by 5, Courtney Crouch.
That one's given off by Gokin. That's Grenoweg. Grenoweg passed that one off to Johnson. Johnson to Leach. But after all transpired, now we'll just be back to White Bear ball. As that's Crouch. And I'll still be White Bear ball. Starting off with Corey. Corey just throws that one off, almost going back out, but Crouch will be able to save it. That's passing one off to Corey. That's given to Crouch. Crouch. Back for Eckerly. Eckerly, no good, off the rebound, that's Leach. And Leach will pass that one off to Rice. That's to Grenoweg. Abigail Grenoweg passed that one off to Johnson. Johnson to Rice. Rice to Anderson. Working their way around the carousel. That'll be a call. That'll be a foul call.
45, Lauren Eckerly, her second.
Anderson will be on the line.
Stumney, Krieger, Gokin, Holtman back in for the Rangers.
Major substitution made by Forest Lake. Anderson. That'll be good. As Anderson will be on the line for a second attempt. Anderson's good again. That'll be 2 more points for the Forest Lake Rangers. So that one start off with Eckerly. Eckerly to Corey. Working their way from the outside. And off the rebound will be no good. As Holtman tries to go for it. And that won't be good for a second attempt. No good. A couple White Bear people were after that one. But that'll be a foul call. Nia Hughes had a chance at it. So did Crouch. And so did Eckerly. Second attempt. No good. So Adebisi had a couple chances at it. So I'll start off with Holtman. As I was going to try to go to Grenoweg, but with the great breakup was not Hughes.
I think I found the wheel that changes it.
That's not Hughes was there. And passes that one off to Holtman. 30 seconds and counting remaining as Forest Lake is just looking to run the clock out here at this point. And that's given to Stumney. Stumney to Gokin. Gokin to Anderson. Anderson back to Holtman. Holtman to Anderson. Anderson for 2. Anderson good for 2. And time's just climbing down here. 3, 2, 1. And game's over. And that'll be it. Forest Lake will be able to run away with this one. Forest Lake 70. White Bear Lake 44.
Conference girls basketball game. We have
White Bear will fall 8-10, and they will be 4-5 in SEC conference play. Meanwhile, Forest Lake Rangers will be riding high with 15-4, with 7-3 in SEC conference play. Great showing by the Forest Lake Rangers. This girls' team seems to be unstoppable right now. As this game's heading to a close, I'd like to thank all of you viewers for watching tonight's episode. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors that keep LATV up and running, because what would we do without you? I've been Vincent Dimitrov, signing out.
All the youth in attendance tonight. Rangers are on the road next week on Tuesday and Friday. So it'll be over a week before they'll be back here. We hope to see you next home game. Please drive carefully as you exit the park.